The Isle of Sheppey, a walk through the periphery. Having lived on the Isle of Sheppey since 1992, I took the opportunity to walk a route I had long wanted to do. I decided to walk around the island, which is situated off the North Kent coast, surrounded by the Medway, the Swale and the Thames estuary. Quite a few people take on the challenge to circumnavigate Sheppey in a dinghy or a catamaran during the 40-mile annual Round the Island race, but there seem to be far fewer attempts on foot. The geographical reality of Sheppey's coast is in places hardly conducive to a pleasant or safe walk, at several points even impossible. Most of the outer edges of Sheppey are occupied by farms, nature reserves, caravan parks, dangerous eroding cliffs, former industrial sites, imported car storage facilities and docks. The more accessible stretches of coast are used for recreational purposes, but have never reached the popularity of other coastal resorts along the Kent coast, and are deserted outside of holiday season. Although the island's population doubles in the summer, it still feels like an undiscovered seaside resort, and gentrification has not yet worked its dubious magic. 2 bridges maintain uninterrupted access to the mainland, and the big concrete seawall around the northwest corner gives a sense of security, even though it was built decades ago and sea levels are certainly rising. The overwhelming impression I had during the walk around Sheppey was a sense of the peripheral, the margins where land and sea constantly interact, the rough edges far away from the centre, isolated and neglected, open to the forces of nature. This sense of the peripheral paints a suitable metaphor for the long-standing marginalisation of the whole area. Decades of economic, social and educational neglect has left its mark on the community and the landscape. Many young locals leave the area when they have the opportunity. A few pockets of affluence and new housing developments don't resolve existing deprivation. As long as places like Sheppey are treated like they don't matter, and governments fail to invest in the communities in a meaningful way, they will remain marginal and stuck in poverty. Land and water, tortured cliffs, the sea on the march, the end of the world, waning tide, glistening, infinite, mysterious estuary. Margins, edge of land and sea. Land becomes sea, sea turns land for cars, containers, consumers, but caravans and homes crumble, tumble, swallowed up by mud and tide, violent, silent to those upstream in houses of power beside the Thames, where margins mean nothing apart from profit. Dead Man's Island, Shepherd's Creek, Ladies' Hole Point, Paddy's Point, Barrow's Brook, Dutchman's Island, Flanders Mere, Bugsby's Hole, Horse Ridge, Folly Spit, Cockleshell Creek, Jacob's Bank, Cheney Rock, Garrison Point, Isle of Sheep.